If you take a look at my garden, it is a complete and utter mess. Now, it has honestly been raining nonstop where I'm from almost every day. And then, like yesterday, even the few days where it is not raining, it ends up raining in later in the day, you know? So I really have not had as much time as I would have liked to get out here and get all the work done that I've been wanting to thus far. I started a lot of things. I have a lot of seedlings growing in two of my raised beds over there. I need to deeply weed this raised bed and that one over there. I did pull up a lot of weeds. However, if you can see, like this area here is patchy because I've had bags of mulch and grow bags sitting on top of it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mulch this entire area. So I'm going to start with cardboard boxes and cardboard bags that I have from grass clippings and things like that. And I'm going to put that down and I'm going to put a layer of mulch on top of that so that I can at least make this area look presentable. Oh no, this thing is not that weak. Ooh, that's what I get for getting. Do not buy the little hand shovels from Dollar Tree unless you are only planning on using them in like potting soil and raised beds. Like these literally just bent backwards trying to dig up this root here. That's crazy. I've never had that happen before. I have a bunch of other ones, but this one was just in front of me. I'm not gonna be able to get this out. Oh, I got it out. This is bitter dock, or no, curly dock. As I planted strawberries in this area a couple years ago, but like they are so prolific. They literally just took over my entire yard. So with that being said, I don't particularly care about killing any of them because I have plenty of them still, number one, in ground, and number two, putting out runners. And number three, I have plenty in pots as well. So there's really no need for me to worry too much about any of the strawberries that I have in the ground right now. The buttercup, I actually do really think they're beautiful and I like them. So I'm not going to get rid of all of the buttercup, but I am going to get rid of a significant portion of it because it's in the way. This is motherwort. I have a lot of this growing in my yard. I do take some of these and I dry them down and I use them to make tea. Oh, that is rusted. Oh, that didn't even last a year. This plant here is burdock. And I don't know, maybe you've heard of burdock, maybe you haven't, but I have such an abundance of burdock growing in my yard. It's honestly ridiculous. This plant has been growing since last year, and if you can see, it's absolutely huge. I'm going to try to pull this out right now because it's in my way. Oh, absolutely not. That is not coming out. I need to get a shovel. Oh, I got it. That pop, snap, crackle, pop. Huge, huge burdock. Right now, I'm pulling all the goldenrod, this is goldenrod, and dandelions from out of this raised bed, and I am going to replace these weeds with cucumbers. So I have a bag of mushroom compost, and I'm going to use this to compost the cucumbers. Or I'm going to use these to fertilize the cucumbers. Well, they say bugs don't like garlic. That is not true. There are a ton of bugs right at the base of the garlic, enjoying life. And all of these plants that I'm pulling, I'm going to be using as compost in the pathways that I haven't composted yet. I still have this corner here and this whole pathway between this one and that raised bed that I need to put compost in. And that's honestly part of the reason why I let my garden grow so wild and out of control is because I did want to have a lot of material. Huge bees. Oh my God. These two bees have been scouting my backyard the entire time I've been out here. They are absolutely huge. Oh my God. And that's very good for me. I have a lot of things living in my backyard right now, and I attribute that to the diversity of all the plants, native or otherwise, that I let grow back here last year. Oh my goodness. Oh, so what I was saying is I planted a lot of different plants back here last year, as well as the fact that I let a ton of the native plants just grow and do whatever. Oh, I think I pulled up a garlic. It's definitely a garlic, but did I pull the garlic up or just a leaf? I think it was just a leaf. Yeah, so I have a ton of, like, not just like insects, but wildlife in general, because I have a lot of animals that are back here. Like, I saw a blue jay the other day. Um, I have what is it called? Cardinals that come by and nest near here. It's so much going on back here. Lots of squirrels. I have a cat, so luckily the cat kind of like keeps away some pests. But yeah, so I don't know. It's been pretty interesting seeing how my backyard has grown, not just with the plants, with everything since last year. Let me get all of this goldenrod out of here because I have a ton of goldenrod growing and I'm gonna let it grow this year. Yeah, I let it grow last year too, but this year I do want to harvest some of the goldenrod. So I'm just gonna let it go. I have a big patch in the back that way, as well as some growing along the sides over here too. I have a couple different cucumber varieties that I'm going to plant out. One of these, the Space Master 80, I'm going to put in a grow bag and plant it over with my trellis system. I did plant lemon cucumber over with the trellis as well about a week ago. So I'm going to put maybe one lemon cucumber in this raised bed, and then the rest I'm just gonna line this whole thing with different kind of cucumbers. I have Suyo Long, Boston Pickling, Tokiwa, Tokyo Green, National Pickling, Early Fortune, and Sikkim. And this one is actually a very interesting looking cucumber. I don't know, I'm very curious to see what that tastes like. Okay, so the lemon I'm gonna put here in the corner. Lemon cucumber last year was very prolific for me. It was actually, I'm gonna put down 4 seeds just in case one doesn't come up because I only want one plant, but I have plenty of seeds, so I'll put down 4, and we'll see what happens. But the lemon cucumber was the most prolific cucumber that I planted last year. And all the rest of the cucumbers, I got some out of them, but it really wasn't as much as I would have liked at the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and plant these out. Let's do Boston pickling next. I think I did Boston pickling last year and I didn't really get, I got a couple of them, but I don't know. Um, I didn't put any compost in this raised bed, so I'm going to do two Boston pickling. But I'm going to plant 4 seeds. What's the other one? I'm going to plant 4 seeds. So one of them, at least one of them in each spot will come up, hopefully. And but yeah, so last year, I don't know if it was, I think it was just an issue with how I was, or the fact that I did not put any compost down on them. I did use liquid fertilizer for everything that I grew last year, but my yields they weren't bad. I got a ton, absolute shit ton of tomatoes last year, but everything else, like I got some of my tomatoes did very well. Or not tomatoes. Some of my peppers did very well, and I got tiny eggplants. Okay, so the next one I planted was Early Fortune. I feel like maybe I planted them a little bit too close together, but that's okay. But yeah, so I didn't put any compost down. I just used the liquid fertilizer that I make, and like some things did very well, some things were just blah, whatever, and some things I pretty much got nothing out of them, which is, whatever. It's fine. It was the first time I've had a garden growing. Last year was the first time I've had a garden growing in a couple years. So this time I kind of wanted to do a lot more with the garden than what I did last year. Okay, so next is going to be the Suyo Long. And I have to pull this. This is a maple tree, I think, or some type of tree. These trees just seed all over the place. So I planted 4 seeds of the Suyo Long, and I planted one in each space just because if two come up, cool. It's fine. Next I'm gonna do the National Pickling. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna do is the Tokyo Green. And then I'm gonna do the Sikkim, and then I'm going to do more Suyo Long and more Early Fortune, and that's going to be the rest of the raised bed is these 4. Again, I have a lot of motherwort just growing natively in my yard. I don't want to hurt her. So I'm trying to avoid sitting on top of her. I think I'm going to put another thing of lemon cucumber down too. I'm going to finish pulling up the dandelions and whatever weeds that are in the bed on this side, and then I'm going to work on this side to clear out everything but the garlic. And I'm going to actually leave the veg that's growing here as like a chop and drop as a mulch to keep ground cover around where the garlic is. I'm moving really slow. I need to pick it up. Funny enough, there's also other perennials. There's also plenty of other native plants that grow in my garden that are considered weeds, but are actually medicinal and edible, such as this. This is purple dead nettle. It's such a cute bee, but don't sting me, please. But yes, you can actually take these purple dead nettle and use these as tea as well. I don't know what it is, but this particular year, things have been just taking a sweet time with growing. All my lettuce that I planted over there is finally starting to look like something. I planted that a month ago as well. I planted that in like the beginning of April or somewhere around there. Um, I was expecting to have a lot more growth from those by now, but clearly that's not in the cards. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me here today as I am getting my garden together for the year 2026. It is finally getting hot and less rainy. Honestly, I wish I could have gotten all these things done way sooner, but it's just been just constant rain, and that has prevented me from coming out here and getting much done. I've gotten a little bit, here and there. I've gotten, a couple things planted, but for the most part, I really have to finish the garden cleanup for the season and just really get it all together. Yeah, I'm going to continue to clear this garden bed out, and I'm going to figure out what else I'm going to plant here, and I'll be back to talk to you guys later. Okay, huge improvement already. I'm not quite done. I left a couple patches of buttercups because at the moment I don't have any other flowers except for my rose and my foxglove. And honestly, I think buttercups are so pretty. So why not just leave them for a little bit? I pulled up all the weeds from this raised bed and this one. Right now, I'm about to plant out some cannabis. If you know, you know. In this raised bed, I don't look at the plant, the bird bath. I was originally going to plant that one out here. However, the garlic is not going to be done for a while. So instead of planting them there and having, that whole space just dedicated to the cannabis, I will put them in this raised bed. And I'm just going to hope that they don't shade out my cucumbers, but we shall see. So these are all the weeds. Let me zoom out. These are some of the weeds, not all the weeds, that I'm using in the pathways as compost. So again, if you didn't see my last video, I am making compost in the, oh my gosh, stop. I'm making compost in the pathways in between the raised beds. So that way I don't have to keep a compost bin, because last year I had a compost bin and I don't particularly like that setup. It took a long time for everything to break down and I still have yet to use anything out of there. I'm actually going to take, once I'm finished with the weeding, which I have a couple more weeds to pull here and behind the beds back there, as well as right here. So I'm going to use that compost from last year, which is pretty much just all dried material. There's probably some good compost at the very bottom of it. I'm going to use that and put that on top of all the green materials that I just put down. And I'm going to put as much of this as I can in these pathway areas so that, number one, it suppresses weeds. Number two, it creates compost so that I can put that on my garden to fertilize. I am actually done for now. I have to head out in a few minutes. So this is all that I have gotten done today. And I will come back either later today or tomorrow, or I don't know if it's raining tomorrow, a day that it's not raining, and I'll absolutely be finishing this out. Oh, and I have to clean up the rest of the yard. I have a lot of um old leaves and stuff that fell off the trees from last year that I have to clean up, and cracks in the driveway that I have to scrape the weeds out of. I'm very excited to see what this year is going to look like, especially with the cucumbers up on the back trellis and the marijuana planted in the front. And then I'm going to put peppers in this raised bed here, and lots of herbs and other stuff. All my lettuce and things are over here, and they're going to stay here for the rest of the year because they're going to be shaded out once my squash and melons grow up these arch trellises that I put in. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. All right, so I have these planted out. They are a little bit close, but I think they'll be fine just because like this is a 4 by 8 foot bed. And I'm not putting too much of anything that's going to actually have like root competition with these at all. So honestly, I think they will just be fine. I seen online where they said to put these 3 feet apart, and honestly, I think that's a lot. It depends on how big they get though, but these are all different varieties, so you know, we will see. This is the smallest one, and I put her all the way over here by her lonesome. So I'm gonna tell you where and what each one of them is. So for my home record, this one is Mimosa. This one is Sticky Sherbet. This one's OG Regular. OG Regular. This one's Northern Lights. And this one is, oh, Apple Betty. Okay, so Apple Betty, Northern Lights, OG Regular, Sticky Sherbet, and Mimosa. So I have my tray of peppers ready to be planted out. They are very small because I never up potted them, so they didn't get too mature faster than where they currently are, which is shouldn't be too much of an issue. The banana peppers look the best out of all of them, funny enough. Season hasn't even started yet, and I have aphids. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to plant them all out in the front yard. You going to blow it?
No.
Why not?
I want to shake it.
You going to shake it? Yeah,
Did you see?
I see.
They're going away.
They're flying all over the place. Guess I'll wait another lifetime. Oh, oh. Can you separate these? Hold on, I need to do some research. Can't even lie, this hostel was actually pretty difficult to separate, so I just left it whole. If I want to add more later, I'll do that at a later date. And I'm gonna clean up these edges on a later date as well. Um, but yeah, it's really pretty. I wanted blue hosta, but all the what are they called? Bulbs? The rootstock of the blue hostas that they have are that I've seen so far. I'm pretty sure they're dead. I tried to plant the blue ones out that I bought from Lowe's earlier, and they look completely dead. So I'll be shocked if anything comes up from that. I'm gonna look around at a couple of garden centers to see if I could find a blue one, and I'll probably, if I can find one, I'll get two and put one here and one there, so it's kind of like an L shape. I think that'll be cute. Looking for sunflower seedlings that we can transplant. Let's do this one. So in the front, I have a bunch of sunflower seeds planted, and I thought it would be really cute to have some sunflower seeds or sunflowers also in the back behind the raspberry bushes. So I took one, two, three, and four, and I transplanted them, making sure not to destroy the taproot. But yeah, I think that's gonna be so cute. I kind of want to put more than four, but I think four should be enough. And I'm pretty sure these are the teddy bear sunflowers that I have. Or actually, they're called double sun or double king, something like that. I will always be in complete awe and shock and amazement at how beautiful this celery plant is. I have not cut any celery from this yet. The stalk on the celery is round. Is it supposed to be like that? Oh my God. So I have to say, I feel like not an idiot, but like, I don't know. I thought this was celery. These huge plants. However, I noticed that the stalks were round. This is fucking parsley. I did not know parsley grew this big. And with that being said, parsley is absolutely a perennial in my area because I have another pot. I have a grow bag with parsley on the other side of the yard that also survived the winter. So that makes sense that this is parsley because this survived the winter. This is the only thing in my raised beds besides the carrots that survived the winter. That is absolutely so funny to me that this is parsley and it's this big. I do not need this much parsley. Oh my God, I'm definitely gonna cut this down now. But like, there's no way that I have this much parsley grown in my yard. And I thought this was celery. Ugh, absolutely ridiculous. And I'm gonna start on the melon seeds all right here. And on the other raised bed on the other side, I'm going to do all the different squashes. We're going to start with my one glove. So I'm going to do, because I don't want to overwhelm myself with melon plants, because knowing me, I will not get rid of them if I need to. I'm only going to plant two seeds at a time. That one is Golden Jenny. the first one was Minnesota Midget. This one is Honey Rock. This one is Sierra Gold. Okay, so now we're doing the only honeydew type. This one is Golden Honeymoon. So I'm just gonna have to make sure I put a lot of compost down on top of these throughout the season. And then this one is the Kiku Chrysanthemum. I planted seeds for this last year, but I didn't get anything because I didn't really take care of this plant. I'm gonna do the lemon drop on the end here. Ooh. These watermelons are very tiny. So I would hope that they would do better than a larger watermelon in terms of production. So because of that, I'm gonna give them a little bit more space to do what they want to do. And then I'm gonna try to get 2 Kajari plants. I planted Kajaris last year too, and the squirrels ate them. Okay, and finally we have the early girl, which I'm gonna put right here. I think I'm gonna pick some of these radishes and make a salad with them. Ooh, yes. Oh, something's eating that one. Oh, pretty. Oh, what is eating these? I wonder what kind this is. I know this better not be a daikon. If it's a daikon, it is so small. Wow. I just pulled up a kale and what is this? Probably a lettuce. Oops. Put you guys back in the ground. Something's just going something's just going around and just taking bites out of my radishes. Who are you? Who's doing that? Stop. Or if you're gonna take a bite, eat the whole thing. Stop nibbling on every little one. That's so ignorant. This one's really cute. I can't even lie. Radishes are actually a very rewarding crop to grow. So cute and such a fast grower compared to everything else. They are supposed to be done in 30 days. I think it's been a little bit more than 30 days just because the weather's been so ridiculous and back and forth crazy with the temperatures going up and down, up and down. But this is such a cute little bouquet of radishes. Okay, so I have the compost. I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. Now, what I'm gonna do for this raised bed is I'm going to start my squash all on this side. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I have peas and everything that are still growing up on that side. And I don't want to disturb them too much. I have plenty of space and I don't have anything growing here just yet. And I haven't really planned to put anything here outside of the squash. So I'm going to plant all the squash in this bed and trail them along this entire 4x8 raised bed because in time the peas will be done because that is a cool season crop. Everything else that I have over here are pretty much also other cool seasons, so those will pretty much be gone by the time the squash gets to a size where it'll start to go crazy. Okay, so the ALT green is going right here in the corner. So I'm gonna plant the Camo right there. Honey nut, I want a lot of honey nut because this, oh my God, is so delicious and they're so small and cute. Like they are the perfect size for like single serve butternut squash and they're very sweet. So I want at least 2 honey nut plants. So I'll plant out 6 seeds. That's excessive. But I'm definitely gonna get rid of. I'm not gonna keep them all. I'm gonna thin them down. Oh, well, there's honey nut right there. I'm also gonna plant it right in the middle here. So I'm gonna put down two loofahs right over in there. That's one, two. So now I just have to water these in. And I'm gonna put down some compost everywhere that I planted out. Oh, I didn't do the rampicante. Oh wait, no, I didn't do the candy roaster. Okay, so I'm gonna do the candy roaster and the rampicante just because I feel like I did not plan enough. But that's my issue. I never feel like it's enough. I want it all. Yeah, I need to bend those backwards. There, I just got poked. Okay, so I put compost down on the other side with the squash. So now I'm just going to put compost down on this side with the melons that I put down. So I'm just going to put a little bit down for now and add more as the season grows on. I did a lot in the garden today. I have a lot more left to do. I kept getting interrupted, so I didn't finish the front and finish putting the peppers down, but I'm going to get to that probably tomorrow as long as it doesn't rain. We'll see how that goes. Good afternoon. So today I just want to go over what I did in the garden today. I have this hosta that I planted a couple days ago, and I just planted some coxcombs like in a half circle around it. My front yard is honestly pretty messy in terms of all the weeds that I have popping up in between my mulch, but that's a project for another day because my back hurts. Can't even lie. I'm just gonna water in these combs for now, and I'll deal with the edges of this front yard and the weeds later. So I planted out all of my peppers, which honestly I'm very excited about. This year, I actually planted them way closer together than I did last year. And my reasoning for doing that is um, I have children on my street who like to come and pull peppers. And last year I had the peppers pretty close to the edge of the sidewalk, and those little kids came and pulled up a bunch of my peppers. So, in order to prevent that, I'm just experimenting with planting them a lot closer together, which they are about, I'd say, 6 to 8 inches apart, some of them a foot apart. And we will see how that goes for this year. I think it'll be good. I put a ton of compost down underneath them. I planted sunflowers in between my daffodils as well as amaranth. If you can see the thing with the pink stem, I planted that as well. I need to water that a little bit more because they are falling down. My corn is finally coming up. The first planting of corn that I did is finally coming up out the ground. That is very exciting. That is red sweet corn. I also planted out a pack of the white Martian jewels as well. And I'm about to go in the back because there's so much noise up here. In this area, I planted squash. However, it didn't come up and it's been like a week or so. So I started some more seeds and I'm going to transplant them when they get a little bigger because I think maybe bugs probably ate them. I don't know. But where I'm watering now, I planted zinnias. So hopefully I'll have like a line of zinnias around the border. My tomatoes in this area are still looking how they're looking. Like something's eating them, but they are growing. I'm gonna have to replace some of them because as you can see, like this one here, looking crazy. And that one. This one looks great. Here I have a nice little planter. Well, it's not little, it's actually pretty big. I filled it with 2 bags of cement at the bottom, and put this pole in, or pole, pipe, 2-inch pipe, which I'm gonna paint that so it looks better than how it looks. And this I'm gonna use to hold an umbrella in the seating area in the back because last year my umbrella kept blowing away in the wind. It blew over the fence into the neighbor's yard. The cement holder that I had for it last year just could not cut it at all. So I figured I would make this, and I'm gonna drill holes in it so that it will actually hold down the umbrella and not let it fly away. Inside of here, I have a ton of citronella. I have some petunias, some lemon thyme, which smells absolutely amazing, and a beautiful little dahlia. So I'm in the back area where I have the T-post and the Roma tomatoes, and I have all of these tomatoes left over. Some of them I do need to replace or use as replacements for the original set of potatoes that I have over in Tomato Alley. However, I kind of feel like I want to plant the rest of them in this area with the determinate tomatoes. These the T posts are pretty far away from each other, and I feel like I can probably fit a tomato or two in between and along the fence on this side. The difference with planting the tomatoes over here versus on that side is that this side just gets a lot more sun. That side is shaded out by the fence up until it gets to be later, closer to the summer solstice. And also, the tomatoes are pretty short, so they're getting a lot of shade over there, and they're not like gaining height the same way these ones are, which is funny enough because these ones I didn't even have them in full sun, but I had them in my little greenhouse, which gets more sun than the fence area where the original set of tomatoes are at. So these, I'm gonna plant these over here on this side, and I'm gonna see how that ends up going. I think it'll actually be really good. And next year, I don't think I'm gonna plant any tomatoes on that side either. I think maybe I'll just use that area for like shade loving plants like lettuce and things. Which is funny because last year my tomatoes over there did very well. I don't know why things are eating them up this year like they were not eating them last year. I don't need all these tomato plants though. This is a lot of tomato plants. So I'm gonna definitely be making a ton of tomato sauce and pasta dishes and things of that nature for the entire year. Like literally, it's gonna be a little ridiculous, but honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Along with hopefully having lettuce and things when my melons and squash start growing up and over the arch trellis. That would be nice to have lettuce throughout the year as well and be able to make beautiful salads the entire summer. We will see how that goes though. On this day, I am planting out all of my beans. I'm starting in this corner with black garbanzo beans. I'm planting these all in between all the other plants that are growing in this raised bed, sort of like a living mulch to help shade out the ground beneath to prevent and suppress other weeds from growing, as well as a nitrogen fixer to help
promote growth in the plants that are growing in this bed. I am expecting the weed and things that are growing in this bed to get much taller than these beans. They are all a bush variety, so they do not get very big in terms of height, but they are very bushy. So there will be little to no sunlight passing through. And I'm only planting them closer towards the front of the bed because, again, I'm going to have cucumbers in the back, and I do kind of trail the cucumbers along the ground a little bit before I make them grow up the trellis so that they can have multiple connection points with the ground. I do the same thing for my squash and my melon plants as well. And you'll see that throughout the season. So on the initial side, I have some black garbanzo beans and some soybeans. And on the side that you see me planting now, I am putting down two different kinds of bush green beans. On this day, it was a little hard to talk while I was recording because, as you can hear, there was a lot of background noise yet again. In this grow bag, I am planting out my bitter melons. I'm going to have four plants of each in this 20-gallon grow bag. And I am just covering this with some mushroom compost as well as some straw mulch. I haven't particularly gone over all the different varieties of plants that I'm growing, but I will do that in a later video.
So, I happen to be a terrible indoor plant mom, but I am a fantastic outdoor plant mom. And with that being said, I have been wanting to grow turmeric for the longest time, but all the turmeric that they sell in the stores, they never, like, for me at least, they're dead. So they don't produce grow tips. So I went to Puerto Rico, not specifically for this, but when I went to Puerto Rico last year, I went to a market and this is compost and some potting soil, or not potting soil, just garden soil, which I use for my grow bags. But yeah, they had turmeric, and I noticed that the turmeric in Puerto Rico was sprouting. So I said I wanted to take it and grow it. You can see, this is why I say I'm a bad plant mom, because what the hell is going on here? Why is she so shriveled up? I'm going to fix her. So I was able to keep a couple of them alive enough to where I should be able to plant them outside. Luckily, because I've had them since, I want to say almost a year now. I've had these turmerics. Oh, this one did something. So I'm putting them in this grow bag, which is like a low profile one. And I'm just gonna let her thrive out here. I might put some other shallow root plants in here with these, maybe some herbs. But this is where the turmeric is going to live. I actually also might, oh, this one's still got some green on it too. I actually also might put some ginger in here as well. Not a lot, but like maybe one or two pieces of ginger. But yeah, we're gonna see how that goes, because I absolutely killed quite a few of them. I cannot grow things indoors. I'm so bad at it. I forget to water it. Just I get flies, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of the flies indoors on the plants outside of the mosquito bits. But even with that only works temporarily and they come back. But yeah, so we're growing turmeric. Thank you so much for joining me in the garden this week. I have so much more work to do. The
Let's
buttercup.
dig up the worms.
Thanks so much for joining me in the garden this week. I have a lot more work to do. Look how beautiful the buttercups are flourishing. I'm going to plant some nasturtium seeds here to take the place of the buttercup when they are done blooming. But oh my God, absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to see what the season brings this year and how well my garden grows up. And just I have so many plans, so many things I want to do. And honestly, I believe it's going to be just magical back here.
Mommy, there's a bee.
It's okay. It's not going to sting you. Don't touch it, okay? I hope you join me again for next week, the last week of May. I'm going to be planting out more seeds and just really organizing, cleaning, and getting this garden completely how I want it to be. So far, so good. And have a fantastic day.